poet who's going to blow your mind, the marvellous Mr. Steve Mingle. Hello. Hello. Got a couple of completely random poems for you tonight. The first one is a celebration of the great lost art of the flasher. It tells the story, the ultimately tragic story, of an extremely well-endowed exhibitionist, and it's called King Dong. He rejoiced in the nickname of Cucumber Sam, was widely renowned for not giving a damn. He first whipped it out in a queue for the tram in front of this woman pushing a pram. She said, "Fuck me, it's like a battering ram. Can I just take a picture to send to me man?" King Dong. He'd been loitering in Waitrose for quite a while when he noticed a woman of considerable style, an investment manager in the square mile. He gave her an eyeful in the frozen food aisle. She gazed at his weapon and observed with a smile. That's highly impressive, very much top quartile. King Dong. When he sat down for brunch at his local cafe, within seconds his clothing was in disarray. And with a flourish befitting Lord Olivier, he slapped his meat out on the breakfast tray. An old dear at the counter said, "What a splendid display! Can I have one of those to take away?" King Dong. The final question at his job interview: "What do you do in your spare time?" The perfect cue. The dong was unleashed without further ado. Then he swung it around like a cowboy's lasso. She screamed with delight and said, "This interview's through. You start on Monday and bring your friend too." King Dong. At a wedding reception at the edge of a lake, the happy couple were cutting the cake. In what would prove to be a fatal mistake, he whipped out his one-eyed trouser snake. The groom caught a glimpse and said, "Oh, for fuck's sake," and knew straight away what action to take on King Dong. The dong was lopped off with one swish of the blade, which left him in desperate need of first aid. But the pissed-up guest didn't have a clue what to do. Has anyone got any super glue? And by the time the paramedics arrived, he'd lost too much blood to be revived. King Dong. The church filled with mourners who'd always remember the spectacular sight of his legendary member. At the end of the service they began reminiscing, but he went into the furnace with his pride and joy missing. Now it's preserved for posterity in a jar on the shelf, a sad shriveled shadow of its once glorious self. King Dong. Thank you. Next one addresses an altogether more serious topic. The burgeoning epidemic, which is causing untold misery to tens of thousands of Mancunians every day. Irresponsible use of the rucksack. This one's called Rucksack Cunt. And I would like to apologise to anyone who might be offended by the repeated use of the word rucksack. I'm afraid it's the only language some of these cunts understand. I need to grab a quick bite at the railway station, but all I get is exasperation. It's one of these places where you serve yourself, but I can't get anywhere near the shelf. For these dithering dickheads all in a flap. Shall we have a quinoa salad or a hummus wrap? I only want the cheese salad and a lemonade, but I can't fight through the canvas blockade erected by this full-witted army of rucksack cunts. So I have to leave empty-handed or else I'll miss my train. We're queuing for the bus, but right in front of us are these muppets who are twice their natural circumference. The bus approaches and one swings round and clubs an old woman to the ground. He doesn't even notice and clambers aboard with the rest of the overburdened horde. The seats are all taken, but I'm okay, because the sign on the landing says that there's room for 26 standing. No, the fucking well isn't. There's room for just 13 rucksack cunts! And I'm left standing on the pavement like a bloody lemon. They take public nuisance to another dimension. Are they going to a Quasimodo fan club convention? Because there's loads of the bastards on this tram all shaped like the hunchback of Notre Dame. This ledge gawped at one who was scantily dressed. He couldn't take his eyes off her ample chest. He leered to his mate, "Oh, she's well stacked, but she's even bigger at the back, because she's a rucksack cunt!" You get your recommended daily exercise just walking round her. They're ignorant, selfish and utterly careless, with a staggering lack of spatial awareness. Do they think it just vanishes into thin air? Just because you can't see it doesn't mean it's not there. Look at the size of that one, what a nightmare! He's only going to work, what the fuck's he got in there? I tell him be careful and he reacts with outrage, and he swivels and smacks me in the ribcage. I say, you dozy bastard, you nearly cut me in half. I'm not a fucking dwarf, you'd have had me head off! Rucksack cunt! Put it on the bloody floor! Thank you.